Deep beneath the surface of our world lies a collection of mysteries that challenge everything we think we know about human history. From intricate mechanisms that predate modern technology by millennia, to stones that seem to defy the laws of physics, these ancient artifacts continue to baffle scientists and researchers around the globe. What we're about to explore today represents some of the most perplexing discoveries ever made. Objects that force us to question the very foundations of our understanding about ancient civilizations and their capabilities. Picture this scenario for a moment. You're an archaeologist working at a remote dig site, carefully brushing away centuries of accumulated dirt and debris. Suddenly, your tools uncover something that shouldn't exist. Something so advanced, so impossible, according to conventional historical timelines, that it makes you question whether everything we've been taught about the past is fundamentally wrong. This isn't science fiction. This is the reality that researchers have faced time and time again when encountering the artifacts we're about to examine. The ancient world was far more sophisticated than most people realize. While popular culture often portrays our ancestors as primitive cave dwellers, barely capable of making fire, the truth is that ancient civilizations achieved remarkable feats of engineering, astronomy, and craftsmanship that we struggle to replicate even today. Yet among their impressive accomplishments, certain objects stand out as being so far beyond their supposed technological capabilities that they seem almost otherworldly. These mysterious artifacts share several common characteristics that make them particularly intriguing to modern science. First, they demonstrate levels of precision and complexity that shouldn't have been possible with the tools and knowledge available at the time of their creation. Second, they often incorporate materials or techniques that weren't supposed to be discovered or developed until centuries or even millennia later. Third, many of them serve purposes that we still can't fully understand or explain, despite our advanced scientific knowledge. What makes these discoveries even more fascinating is how they've been found. Some were uncovered in remote locations where no advanced civilization was supposed to have existed. Others were discovered in museums, having sat unnoticed for decades before someone realized their true significance. Still others emerged from private collections, their origins shrouded in mystery, and their authenticity hotly debated by experts. The implications of these artifacts are staggering. If they're genuine, they suggest that our understanding of human technological development is incomplete at best, and completely wrong at worst. They hint at lost civilizations with capabilities we've only recently begun to match. They raise questions about whether ancient peoples had access to knowledge or technologies that have since been forgotten or deliberately hidden from history. Our first mysterious artifact takes us to the depths of the Mediterranean Sea, where divers exploring an ancient shipwreck made a discovery that would revolutionize our understanding of ancient Greek technology. In the year 1900, sponge divers working off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera were exploring a Roman-era shipwreck when they encountered bronze statues and other treasures scattered across the ocean floor. Among these artifacts was a corroded lump of bronze and wood that initially seemed unremarkable. For decades, this mysterious object sat in storage at the National Archaeological Museum in Athens, largely ignored by researchers who assumed it was simply debris from the shipwreck. It wasn't until the 1950s that archaeologist Derek de Solla Price began a detailed examination of what would come to be known as the Antikythera mechanism. What Price discovered defied all expectations. Using X-ray imaging and careful restoration work, he revealed that this ancient artifact was actually an incredibly sophisticated mechanical computer, complete with bronze gears, dials, and inscriptions. The device contained over 30 meshing bronze gears arranged in a complex system that could calculate and predict the positions of the sun, moon, and planets with remarkable accuracy. The level of craftsmanship and engineering knowledge required to create such a device was supposed to be beyond the capabilities of ancient Greek civilization. The precision of the gear teeth, the complexity of the mechanical calculations, and the astronomical knowledge incorporated into its design all pointed to a level of technological sophistication that historians believed didn't exist until the development of mechanical clocks in medieval Europe over 1,000 years later. Even more puzzling was the device's apparent ability to predict eclipses and track the 4-year cycle of the Olympic Games. The mechanism included features that demonstrated an understanding of the elliptical nature of planetary orbits, a concept that wasn't formally recognized by mainstream astronomy until the work of Johannes Kepler in the early 17th century. Recent research using advanced imaging techniques has revealed even more surprising details about the Antikythera mechanism. Scientists have discovered that the device was essentially an ancient analog computer, capable of performing calculations that would have required extensive astronomical observations and mathematical knowledge. The bronze gears were cut with such precision that they rival the quality of clockwork produced during the Renaissance. The inscriptions found on the device provide additional clues about its purpose and origin. Written in ancient Greek, these texts appear to be operating instructions and astronomical data, suggesting that the mechanism was designed to be used by educated individuals who understood its complex functions. The sophistication of these instructions implies that such devices may not have been unique, but rather part of a tradition of mechanical engineering that has been lost to history. What makes the Antikythera mechanism even more mysterious is the complete absence of any other similar devices from the ancient world. If the Greeks possessed the knowledge and skills necessary to create such sophisticated machinery, where are the other examples? Why do we have no written records describing the construction or use of such devices? These questions have led some researchers to speculate that the mechanism represents technology from a lost branch of ancient Greek science, one that died out before it could be fully documented or replicated. Moving from the depths of the Mediterranean to the mountains of Peru, our next mysterious artifact presents an entirely different set of puzzles. High in the Andes, at the ancient site of Pumapunku, archaeologists have uncovered stone blocks that demonstrate a level of precision and sophistication that challenges our understanding of pre-Columbian engineering capabilities. Pumapunku, which means Gate of the Puma in the local Quechua language, is part of a larger complex of ruins near the modern city of La Paz, Bolivia. The site is believed to have been constructed by the Tiwanaku civilization between 500 and 900 CE, during a period when most of the world was still emerging from the so-called Dark Ages. What makes Pumapunku extraordinary isn't just its age, but the incredible precision of its stone construction. The massive blocks that make up the site are cut with such accuracy that they fit together without the use of mortar, creating joints so tight that it's impossible to slip a knife blade between them. Some of these stones weigh over 100 tons, yet they've been shaped and positioned with tolerances that would be considered impressive even by modern construction standards. The precision of the stonework at Pumapunku extends beyond simple cutting and fitting. Many of the blocks feature complex geometric patterns, intricate channels, and precisely drilled holes that serve no obvious structural purpose. Some stones have been carved with interlocking designs that suggest they were part of a larger, more complex structure whose original purpose remains unknown. Even more puzzling is the composition of the stones themselves. While some of the blocks are made from local sandstone, others are composed of andesite, an extremely hard volcanic rock that would have been incredibly difficult to work with using the tools available to ancient South American civilizations. The nearest source of andesite is located over 60 miles away, raising questions about how these massive blocks were transported across the difficult Andean terrain. The level of precision achieved at Pumapunku has led some researchers to suggest that the builders must have possessed advanced tools and techniques that have since been lost to history. The perfectly straight cuts, the precise right angles, and the smooth surfaces of the stones all indicate a level of technological capability that seems inconsistent with what we know about pre-Columbian civilizations. Adding to the mystery is the apparent lack of tool marks or evidence of the construction process. Unlike other ancient stone structures where archaeologists can identify the methods and tools used in their construction, Pumapunku shows no clear signs of how its precise stonework was achieved. This absence of evidence has fueled speculation about the true nature of the technology used by its builders. Our third mysterious artifact takes us to an entirely different part of the world and a much earlier time period. In the deserts of Iraq, archaeologists working on ancient Mesopotamian sites have uncovered objects that appear to be primitive electrical batteries, complete with copper electrodes and acidic electrolytes. These so-called Baghdad batteries were first discovered in the 1930s during excavations near the Iraqi capital. The artifacts consist of clay jars containing copper cylinders and iron rods, all sealed with asphalt or bitumen. When filled with an acidic solution, these devices can generate a small electrical current, leading some researchers to speculate that ancient Mesopotamians had discovered the principles of electrochemistry thousands of years before such knowledge was supposed to exist. The implications of these discoveries are staggering. If ancient peoples were indeed creating and using primitive batteries, it suggests a level of scientific understanding that predates our conventional timeline of technological development by millennia. The ability to generate and harness electricity would have had profound implications for ancient metallurgy, medicine, and other fields of knowledge. However, the purpose of these alleged batteries remains hotly debated among archaeologists and historians. Some researchers argue that they were used for electroplating precious metals, a process that would have allowed ancient craftsmen to apply thin layers of gold or silver to base metal objects. Others suggest they might have been used for some form of ancient medical treatment, possibly as a primitive form of electroshock therapy. The controversy surrounding the Baghdad batteries highlights one of the central challenges in studying mysterious ancient artifacts. Without clear historical records or definitive archaeological context, it's difficult to determine the true purpose and significance of these objects. What appears revolutionary to modern eyes might have had a completely different meaning and function in its original cultural setting. Despite these uncertainties, the Baghdad batteries continue to fascinate researchers and the public alike. They represent the possibility that our ancestors were far more scientifically sophisticated than we've traditionally assumed, and they raise important questions about what other advanced knowledge might have been possessed by ancient civilizations but lost to the passage of time. The mystery deepens when we consider the materials and techniques involved in these alleged electrical devices. The copper used in the Baghdad batteries shows signs of having been deliberately chosen for its conductive properties, while the iron rods display evidence of careful preparation and positioning. The acidic solutions that would have activated these devices could have been derived from various sources available to ancient Mesopotamians, including fermented grape juice or vinegar. What's particularly intriguing is that similar objects have been discovered at multiple sites across the ancient Near East, suggesting that knowledge of these electrical principles may have been more widespread than initially thought. Archaeological excavations in Iran and other neighbouring regions have yielded comparable artefacts, indicating that this wasn't an isolated experiment, but possibly part of a broader technological tradition. The debate over these ancient batteries has intensified in recent years as more sophisticated analysis techniques have been applied to the artefacts. Electron microscopy has revealed microscopic details about the construction methods used, while chemical analysis has provided insights into the materials and their potential interactions. Yet despite these advanced investigative tools, the true purpose of these devices remains elusive. Moving from the realm of ancient electricity to the world of impossible metallurgy, our fourth mysterious artifact challenges everything we thought we knew about the development of material science. Deep in the mountains of Romania, miners working in the Mureș River Valley made a discovery in 1973 that has puzzled scientists for decades. The object in question appeared to be a simple piece of metal, roughly the size and shape of a hammerhead. However, laboratory analysis revealed that this ancient artifact was composed primarily of aluminum, an element that wasn't supposed to be isolated and refined until the 19th century. The implications of this discovery sent shockwaves through the archaeological community, as aluminum requires highly sophisticated industrial processes to extract from its naturally occurring compounds. What makes this Romanian artifact even more perplexing is its estimated age. The geological layers in which it was found suggest that the object is at least several hundred years old, possibly much older. Yet aluminum production on Earth didn't begin until 1825, when Danish physicist Hans Christian Ørsted first successfully isolated small amounts of the metal through chemical processes. The technical challenges involved in aluminum production are immense. Unlike other metals that can be smelted from their ores using relatively simple furnaces and techniques, aluminum requires either complex chemical processes or massive amounts of electrical energy. The Hall-Héroult process, which is still used today for commercial aluminum production, wasn't developed until 1886 and requires temperatures exceeding 900 degrees Celsius, along with powerful electrical currents. The presence of this aluminum artifact in ancient geological contexts raises disturbing questions about our understanding of technological history. Either our dating methods are fundamentally flawed, or ancient peoples possessed metallurgical capabilities that rival our modern industrial techniques. Neither possibility fits comfortably with established archaeological and historical frameworks. Laboratory tests conducted on the Romanian aluminum object have revealed additional puzzling characteristics. The metal's composition includes trace elements and isotopic ratios that don't match typical patterns found in modern aluminum production. Some researchers have suggested that these unusual characteristics might indicate an extraterrestrial origin, though such theories remain highly controversial within mainstream scientific circles. Our fifth mysterious artifact takes us to the remote plateaus of South America, where ancient peoples created maps that seem to display knowledge of geographical features that weren't supposed to be discovered for centuries. The Piri Reis map, created by Ottoman admiral and cartographer Piri Reis in 1513, shows portions of the Atlantic Ocean coastlines with remarkable accuracy, including details of Antarctica that weren't officially discovered until 1820. What makes this map particularly mysterious is its apparent depiction of Antarctic coastlines as they would appear without ice coverage. Modern satellite surveys and seismic studies have confirmed that the coastlines shown on the Piri Reis map closely match the actual shape of the Antarctic continent beneath its massive ice sheets. Yet this ice has covered Antarctica for millions of years, making it impossible for any historical civilization to have observed these features directly. The level of detail and accuracy displayed in the Piri Reis map suggests access to sophisticated surveying techniques and geographical knowledge that exceeded the capabilities of early 16th century cartography. The map includes precise measurements of longitude and latitude, accurate representations of ocean currents and wind patterns, and detailed coastline features that match modern satellite observations. Even more intriguing is the map's apparent use of advanced projection techniques that weren't developed until centuries later. The mathematical principles required to accurately project the curved surface of the Earth onto a flat map weren't fully understood until the development of modern cartographic science. Yet the Piri Reis map demonstrates a sophisticated understanding of these concepts, suggesting access to advanced geographical and mathematical knowledge. Research into the sources used by Piri Reis has revealed that he claimed to have consulted over 20 different maps and documents, some of which he described as being of great antiquity. These source materials have never been found, leading some researchers to speculate that they may have represented knowledge from lost civilizations or forgotten periods of advanced geographical exploration. The mystery surrounding ancient maps extends beyond the Piri Reis example. Other historical cartographic works display similar anomalies, including accurate depictions of geographical features that weren't supposed to be known at the time of their creation. The Orontius Phonaeus map of 1531 shows Antarctica as a continent separate from other land masses, while the Mercator map of 1569 depicts Arctic regions with details that weren't confirmed until modern polar expeditions. These cartographic mysteries raise profound questions about the nature of ancient geographical knowledge and the methods by which such information was obtained and preserved. The accuracy of these maps suggests either that ancient peoples possessed sophisticated surveying and navigation techniques that have since been lost, or that they had access to information sources that we don't currently understand. Our sixth mysterious artifact brings us into the realm of ancient optics and precision engineering. In the ruins of ancient Assyrian palaces, archaeologists have discovered crystal lenses that demonstrate optical properties and manufacturing techniques that weren't supposed to exist until much later periods in human technological development. The most famous of these ancient lenses was discovered at the site of ancient Nineveh in modern-day Iraq. Dating to approximately 700 BCE, this piece of polished rock crystal displays optical characteristics that indicate sophisticated understanding of light refraction and magnification principles. The lens has been ground and polished to precise specifications that would have required advanced knowledge of optical theory and considerable technical skill. What makes these ancient lenses particularly remarkable is their apparent quality and precision. Modern analysis has revealed that they possess focal lengths and magnification capabilities that rival optical devices produced centuries later during the Renaissance. The crystal has been shaped using techniques that produce minimal optical distortion, suggesting that their creators understood principles of lens design that weren't formally codified until the development of modern optics. The discovery of these lenses raises intriguing questions about the visual capabilities and scientific knowledge of ancient civilizations. If ancient peoples possessed functional optical devices, it might explain some of the remarkable astronomical observations and precise craftsmanship found in archaeological sites around the world. The ability to magnify distant objects or examine fine details would have had profound implications for ancient astronomy, medicine, and various crafts. However, the purpose of these ancient lenses remains a subject of debate among researchers. Some archaeologists argue that they were purely decorative objects, possibly used as ornamental elements in royal regalia or religious ceremonies. Others suggest they may have had practical applications, possibly serving as magnifying devices for craftsmen or as components in more complex optical instruments. The technical analysis of these lenses has revealed manufacturing techniques that seem remarkably sophisticated for their time period. The crystal surfaces show evidence of careful grinding and polishing, using methods that produce smooth, regular curves essential for proper optical function. The precision required for such work suggests access to specialized tools and techniques that aren't well documented in historical records of ancient manufacturing processes. Archaeological investigations into these optical devices have uncovered additional examples at sites across the ancient Near East, suggesting that lens-making technology may have been more widespread than initially believed. Excavations at Babylon, Persepolis, and other major ancient cities have yielded similar crystal objects. Though their original context and purposes remain largely unknown due to the passage of millennia and the disruption of archaeological layers, the materials used in these ancient lenses present another layer of mystery. The rock crystal employed in their construction required considerable skill to work with, as the material is extremely hard and prone to fracturing if not handled properly. The fact that ancient craftsmen were able to consistently produce functional optical devices from such challenging materials indicates a level of expertise that took European lens makers centuries to develop during the medieval and Renaissance periods. Our seventh mysterious artifact transports us to the windswept highlands of Turkey, where construction workers in the 1960s uncovered an underground city of staggering proportions. Derinkuyu, as this subterranean complex came to be known, extends 11 levels deep into the earth and could accommodate over 20,000 people along with their livestock and supplies. What makes Derinkuyu truly extraordinary isn't just its size, but the sophisticated engineering systems built into its construction. The underground city features an intricate ventilation system that maintains air circulation throughout all 11 levels, complete with carefully positioned air shafts and circulation chambers. The temperature remains constant year-round, and the air quality is surprisingly good despite the depth and enclosed nature of the complex. The precision of the excavation work at Derinkuyu defies conventional understanding of ancient construction capabilities. The tunnels and chambers are carved directly from solid volcanic rock, using techniques that left smooth walls and precisely angled passages. Many of the chambers feature elaborate architectural details, including arched ceilings, decorative columns, and complex drainage systems that prevent water accumulation. Even more puzzling is the apparent planning and coordination required to create such a massive undertaking. The layout of Derinkuyu suggests careful architectural design, with residential areas, storage chambers, communal spaces, and defensive positions all strategically placed throughout the complex. The construction would have required not only enormous amounts of manual labour, but also sophisticated project management and engineering expertise. The dating of Derinkuyu presents additional mysteries. While some sections appear to have been carved during the Byzantine period, other areas show evidence of much earlier construction. Some researchers suggest that the deepest levels may date back several millennia, possibly to the Hittite civilization or even earlier periods. The complexity and scale of the older sections seem inconsistent with what we know about the technological capabilities of these ancient cultures. Archaeological evidence suggests that Derinkuyu was connected to other underground cities in the region through a network of tunnels that stretched for miles beneath the Turkish landscape. This underground highway system would have allowed safe passage between different settlements without exposure to surface dangers. The engineering required to maintain proper ventilation and structural integrity across such distances represents a remarkable achievement in ancient construction. Moving from underground marvels to celestial observations, our eighth mysterious artifact challenges our understanding of ancient astronomical knowledge. In the Sahara Desert of southern Egypt, archaeologists discovered a stone circle that appears to predate Stonehenge by over 1,000 years, yet demonstrates equally sophisticated understanding of celestial mechanics and astronomical calculations. Nabta Playa, as this ancient observatory is known, consists of carefully arranged standing stones and buried rock formations that align with various astronomical phenomena. The stone circle tracks the summer solstice with remarkable precision, while other elements of the site correspond to the positions of bright stars and constellations as they appeared thousands of years ago. What sets Nabta Playa apart from other ancient astronomical sites is the apparent complexity of its celestial calculations. The arrangement of stones suggests that its builders understood precession, the slow wobble of Earth's axis that causes the positions of stars to shift over long periods. This astronomical phenomenon wasn't formally recognized by European science until the work of ancient Greek astronomer Hipparchus in the 2nd century BCE. The level of mathematical sophistication required to create Nabta Playa challenges conventional assumptions about the capabilities of Neolithic peoples. The precise positioning of the stones requires not only careful observation of celestial movements, but also complex calculations to predict how these movements would change over time. Such knowledge suggests a tradition of astronomical observation and mathematical analysis that may have spanned generations or even centuries. Recent analysis using advanced surveying techniques has revealed additional layers of complexity at Nabta Playa. Some of the buried stone formations appear to represent specific star patterns, creating what amounts to a three-dimensional star map carved into the desert landscape. The accuracy of these stellar representations indicates intimate familiarity with the night sky and sophisticated methods for recording and preserving astronomical observations. Our 9th mysterious artifact brings us into the realm of ancient chemistry and materials science. In the mountains of China, archaeologists excavating Han Dynasty tombs discovered metal objects that shouldn't exist according to our understanding of ancient metallurgical capabilities. These artifacts appear to be composed of materials that require advanced industrial processes to produce. The objects in question are small ornamental pieces that initially appear to be made from ordinary bronze or brass. However, detailed chemical analysis revealed compositions that include elements and alloys that weren't supposed to be developed until the modern industrial age. Some pieces contain titanium compounds, while others display unusual crystalline structures that suggest sophisticated heat treatment and alloying techniques. The presence of these advanced materials in ancient Chinese contexts raises profound questions about the technological capabilities of past civilizations. The production of titanium alloys requires extremely high temperatures and specialized equipment that didn't exist in the ancient world. Similarly, the complex crystalline structures observed in some artifacts suggest manufacturing processes that weren't developed until the 20th century. What makes these discoveries even more perplexing is their archaeological context. The tombs in which they were found show no signs of disturbance, and the artifacts were clearly placed there during the original burial ceremonies. Carbon dating and other analytical techniques confirm the ancient age of the surrounding materials, making it difficult to dismiss these objects as modern intrusions or contamination. The metallurgical techniques evident in these Chinese artifacts extend beyond simple alloy composition. Some pieces display evidence of surface treatments and finishing processes that create unusual optical properties, including surfaces that change color depending on viewing angle and lighting conditions. These effects require precise control over crystal structure and surface chemistry that modern materials science has only recently begun to understand. Our 10th and final mysterious artifact takes us to the remote islands of the Pacific, where ancient peoples created massive stone statues using techniques that continue to baffle modern engineers. On Easter Island, known locally as Rapa Nui, nearly 900 monumental statues called moai stand as silent witnesses to a lost civilization's remarkable capabilities. What makes the moai particularly mysterious isn't just their size and number, but the precision with which they were carved and the methods used to transport them across the island. Many of these statues weigh over 80 tons and stand more than 30 feet tall, yet they were moved from distant quarries to their final positions using techniques that remain largely unknown. Recent archaeological investigations have revealed that the moai are far more complex than they initially appeared. Many of the statues have full bodies buried beneath centuries of soil accumulation, and these hidden portions display intricate carvings and details that weren't visible from ground level. The precision of the stone carving work rivals the best sculpture produced anywhere in the ancient world. The transportation of these massive statues across Easter Island presents engineering challenges that modern researchers struggle to explain. The island's terrain includes steep hills, rough ground, and obstacles that would have made moving such enormous weights extremely difficult using primitive tools and techniques. Various theories have been proposed, including the use of wooden rollers, rope systems, and coordinated human labour, but none fully explain how such massive objects were moved with apparent ease. The cultural and technological sophistication required to create the moai extends beyond simple stone carving and transportation. The statues display remarkable consistency in style and proportion despite being carved over several centuries by different generations of craftsmen. This suggests the existence of established artistic traditions and technical knowledge that were carefully preserved and transmitted over time. Archaeological evidence indicates that the Moai were part of a larger cultural and religious complex that included sophisticated agricultural systems, astronomical observations, and social organization. The civilization that created these monuments possessed knowledge and capabilities that seem inconsistent with their isolated island location and limited natural resources. The mysteries surrounding these 10 ancient artifacts force us to confront uncomfortable questions about the nature of human technological development and the completeness of our historical knowledge. Each discovery challenges established timelines and assumptions about what ancient peoples could and couldn't accomplish. Whether these objects represent lost knowledge, forgotten civilizations, or gaps in our understanding, they continue to inspire wonder and fuel scientific investigation. The implications of these mysterious curiosity. They suggest artifacts extend far beyond academic, that human ingenuity and technological capability may have followed more complex patterns than the linear progression typically described in history books. They hint at the possibility that advanced knowledge has been gained and lost multiple times throughout human history, leaving only tantalizing traces for modern researchers to puzzle over. As we continue to uncover and analyze these enigmatic objects, new questions emerge faster than answers can be found. Advanced analytical techniques reveal ever more sophisticated details about their construction and composition, while archaeological context provides clues about their cultural significance and original purposes. Yet the fundamental mysteries remain, challenging us to expand our understanding of what was possible in the ancient world. The study of these mysterious artifacts has revealed patterns that suggest ancient civilizations may have possessed knowledge systems that operated on fundamentally different principles than our modern scientific approach. Rather than the specialized, compartmentalized learning that characterizes contemporary research, ancient peoples seem to have developed holistic understanding that integrated astronomy, mathematics, engineering, and material science in ways we're only beginning to appreciate. Consider the implications of what we've discovered so far. Each artifact represents not just an isolated achievement, but potentially part bin largely of a broader technological tradition that has erased from the historical record. The precision of ancient stone cutting, the sophistication of early mechanical devices, the advanced understanding of celestial movements, and the mastery of complex metallurgical processes all point towards civilizations that achieved remarkable technological heights before disappearing into obscurity. What's particularly striking about these discoveries is how they've been scattered across different continents and time periods, yet they share common characteristics that suggest possible connections or parallel development. The level of mathematical precision found in structures separated by thousands of miles and centuries hints at either widespread knowledge exchange or the independent development of similar advanced techniques by multiple civilizations. Recent advances in analytical technology have allowed researchers to examine these artifacts with unprecedented detail, revealing layers of complexity that weren't apparent to earlier generations of archaeologists. High-resolution imaging, chemical analysis, and computer modeling have uncovered manufacturing techniques and design principles that challenge our assumptions about ancient capabilities. Yet the more we learn about these objects, the deeper the mysteries become. The archaeological context surrounding many of these artifacts presents additional puzzles. They're often found in locations where no advanced civilization was supposed to have existed, or in geological layers that predate the supposed development of the technologies they represent. This disconnect between what we find and what we expect has forced researchers to reconsider fundamental assumptions about the pace and pattern of human technological development. One of the most intriguing aspects of these discoveries is how they've been preserved. Some artifacts survived in pristine condition despite their great age, while others show signs of deliberate concealment or protection. This suggests that ancient peoples may have understood the significance of their technological achievements and taken steps to preserve them for future generations, even when their civilizations faced decline or destruction. The materials used in these ancient artifacts often display properties that seem impossible, given the supposed technological limitations of their creators. Advanced alloys, precision-engineered components, and sophisticated manufacturing techniques all point toward capabilities that modern industry has only recently matched or exceeded. The question remains whether these achievements represent the peak accomplishments of their respective civilizations, or merely glimpses of even more advanced technologies that have been lost entirely. Archaeological investigations continue to uncover new examples of these mysterious objects, each adding another piece to an increasingly complex puzzle. Recent discoveries in remote locations around the world have revealed artifacts that push back the timeline of human technological achievement even further, suggesting that our ancestors may have been far more capable than previously imagined. The preservation of knowledge represented by these artifacts raises important questions about how information was stored and transmitted in ancient times. Unlike our modern reliance on written records and digital storage, ancient civilizations may have encoded their most important knowledge in physical objects designed to survive catastrophic events or social upheaval. These artifacts could represent a form of technological time capsule, preserving crucial information for rediscovery by future generations. The cultural implications of these discoveries extend beyond simple technological achievement. They suggest that ancient peoples possessed worldviews and knowledge systems that integrated scientific understanding with spiritual and philosophical concepts in ways that modern, compartmentalized thinking struggles to comprehend. The artifacts may represent physical manifestations of this integrated approach to knowledge and understanding. Modern attempts to recreate or duplicate these ancient achievements have met with mixed success. While we can often understand the basic principles behind their construction, replicating the precise techniques and achieving comparable results remains challenging. This suggests that the knowledge required to create these objects involved not just theoretical understanding, but also practical skills and techniques that were developed through generations of experience and refinement. The global distribution of these mysterious artifacts hints at ancient connections and knowledge exchange networks that may have been more extensive than previously recognized. Similar techniques and design principles appearing in widely separated locations suggest either remarkable parallel development or communication systems that allowed the spread of advanced knowledge across vast distances. The study of these objects has also revealed the limitations of our current dating methods and analytical techniques. Some artifacts challenge established chronologies, while others display characteristics that don't fit neatly into existing categories of ancient technology. This has forced researchers to develop new approaches to understanding and categorizing these discoveries. The preservation and study of these artifacts face ongoing challenges from various sources. Environmental factors continue to threaten objects that have survived for millennia, while political instability in some regions limits access to important archaeological sites. Additionally, the commercial value of these mysterious objects has led to looting and illegal trafficking that removes them from their proper archaeological contexts. Recent technological advances have opened new avenues for studying these ancient mysteries. Three-dimensional scanning, advanced spectroscopy, and computer modeling allow researchers to examine artifacts without damaging them while revealing details invisible to conventional analysis. These tools have already led to significant breakthroughs in understanding the construction techniques and purposes of several mysterious objects. The theoretical frameworks used to interpret these discoveries continue to evolve as new evidence emerges. Traditional archaeological models based on linear technological progression struggle to accommodate artifacts that seem to represent advanced capabilities appearing suddenly in the historical record without apparent developmental precursors. This has led some researchers to propose alternative models of technological development that account for periods of rapid advancement followed by decline or loss of knowledge. The interdisciplinary nature of studying these artifacts has brought together experts from fields ranging from archaeology and history to materials science and engineering. This collaboration has revealed connections and patterns that wouldn't have been apparent to researchers working within single disciplines, highlighting the importance of broad-based approaches to understanding these mysteries. The public fascination with these ancient enigmas reflects a deeper human desire to understand our origins and capabilities. These artifacts serve as tangible links to past achievements that seem to surpass what we might expect from our ancestors, challenging us to reconsider our assumptions about human potential and the nature of technological progress. As research continues and new discoveries emerge, the collection of mysterious ancient artifacts grows larger and more diverse. Each new find adds complexity to our understanding, while raising additional questions about the true extent of ancient human achievement. The pattern that emerges suggests that we may have significantly underestimated the sophistication and capabilities of past civilizations. The implications of these discoveries extend beyond academic interest into practical applications for modern technology and engineering. Studying ancient techniques and materials has led to insights that inform contemporary research and development, suggesting that our ancestors may have solutions to problems we're still trying to solve. The mystery deepens as researchers realize that these artifacts may represent only a small fraction of ancient technological achievement. The objects that have survived to the present day are likely those made from durable materials and preserved under favorable conditions. Organic materials and more fragile technologies would have disappeared long ago, leaving us with an incomplete picture of ancient capabilities. The continuing study of these enigmatic objects promises to reveal even more surprises as new analytical techniques are developed and applied. Each technological advance in our ability to examine and understand these artifacts brings us closer to comprehending the true extent of ancient human achievement, while simultaneously revealing new layers of mystery and complexity. The search for answers continues to yield unexpected results, as modern science applies cutting-edge technology to these ancient puzzles. Electron microscopy reveals microscopic details that transform our understanding of how these objects were created, while mass spectrometry uncovers elemental compositions that shouldn't exist in materials from their supposed time periods. Yet each scientific breakthrough seems to deepen the mystery rather than resolve it, suggesting that we're dealing with achievements that transcend our current frameworks for understanding ancient capabilities. What emerges from this ongoing research is a picture of technological development that defies conventional models of human progress. Rather than the steady, incremental advancement typically described in history books, these artifacts suggest periods of remarkable innovation, followed by apparent technological regression or loss. This pattern challenges fundamental assumptions about how knowledge accumulates and spreads through human societies over time. The sophistication of these ancient achievements becomes even more apparent when compared to the technological capabilities of surrounding periods. Many of these objects appear as isolated peaks of advancement, surrounded by centuries or millennia of supposedly more primitive technologies. This discontinuity in the archaeological record raises profound questions about the nature of technological knowledge and how it's preserved or lost across generations. Recent discoveries have revealed that some of these mysterious artifacts incorporate design principles that modern engineers are only beginning to understand. Computer modeling and structural analysis have shown that ancient builders achieved optimal solutions to complex engineering problems using approaches that differ significantly from contemporary methods. These insights have led to new developments in fields ranging from architecture to materials science. The global of these discoveries continues nature to expand as archaeological investigations reach previously unexplored regions. Remote sensing technologies have identified potential sites in areas once considered unlikely to contain advanced ancient civilizations. Satellite imagery reveals geometric patterns and structural remains that suggest the presence of sophisticated settlements in locations where conventional historical narratives wouldn't predict such development. The preservation conditions that allowed these artifacts to survive present their own mysteries. Many were found in environments that should have been hostile to their long-term survival, yet they remain in remarkably good condition after millennia of exposure to natural forces. This suggests that ancient peoples may have possessed knowledge of preservation techniques that we're only now beginning to understand or rediscover. The cultural contexts surrounding these objects provide additional layers of complexity to their interpretation. Many were discovered in association with religious or ceremonial sites, suggesting that advanced technology and spiritual practices may have been more closely integrated in ancient societies than in our modern world. This integration challenges contemporary assumptions about the separation between scientific and religious knowledge. The materials analysis of these artifacts has revealed manufacturing processes that seem to require industrial-scale operations. Yet they were produced in societies that supposedly lacked such capabilities. The consistency of material properties across multiple objects suggests standardized production methods and quality control systems that rival modern industrial practices. This level of organization implies complex social structures and specialized knowledge systems. The astronomical alignments and mathematical principles embedded in many of these artifacts demonstrate sophisticated understanding of natural phenomena that wasn't supposed to exist until much later periods. Precise calculations of planetary movements, accurate predictions of celestial events, and complex geometric relationships all point toward advanced mathematical and scientific knowledge that challenges conventional timelines of human intellectual development. The transportation and construction challenges posed by these massive ancient projects continue to puzzle modern engineers. Computer simulations and experimental archaeology have attempted to recreate the methods used to move and position enormous stone blocks, yet no completely satisfactory explanation has emerged. The precision achieved in fitting these massive elements together suggests construction techniques that may have been more advanced than anything available to historical civilizations. The metallurgical achievements represented by some of these artifacts push the boundaries of what should have been possible with ancient technology. Analysis has revealed alloy compositions and heat treatment processes that require precise temperature control and sophisticated understanding of material science. Some objects display properties that modern metallurgy has difficulty explaining or replicating using conventional techniques. The optical properties of certain ancient artifacts suggest knowledge of light behavior and lens design that predates the formal development of optics by centuries. These objects demonstrate practical applications of principles that weren't supposed to be understood until the scientific revolution. The quality of ancient glass and crystal working rivals the best achievements of later periods, indicating mastery of techniques that required considerable theoretical knowledge and practical skill. The acoustic properties of some ancient structures reveal understanding of sound propagation and architectural acoustics that seems remarkably advanced for their time periods. Precise calculations of resonance frequencies and sound focusing effects suggest that ancient builders possessed sophisticated knowledge of wave physics and its practical applications in architectural design. The agricultural and hydraulic engineering systems associated with some of these sites demonstrate mastery of complex environmental management techniques. Ancient peoples appear to have developed sustainable approaches to resource management that maintained productive ecosystems for centuries or millennia. These achievements suggest understanding of ecological principles that modern science is still working to fully comprehend. The preservation of knowledge across extended time periods required systems for storing and transmitting information that may have been more sophisticated than simple oral traditions or written records. Some researchers suggest that these artifacts themselves may have served as information storage devices, encoding crucial knowledge in their physical properties and design characteristics. The social organization required to undertake such massive construction projects implies complex administrative and management systems that coordinated the efforts of thousands of workers over extended periods. The precision and consistency of the results suggest standardized procedures and quality control measures that rival modern project management techniques. The trade networks necessary to obtain exotic materials for these artifacts suggest commercial and transportation systems that spanned vast distances. Ancient peoples appear to have maintained regular contact and exchange relationships across continents, facilitating the spread of both materials and knowledge far beyond what conventional historical models would predict. The educational systems that preserved and transmitted the knowledge necessary to create these objects must have been remarkably sophisticated. The consistency of techniques across multiple generations suggests formal training programs and knowledge preservation systems that maintain technical standards over centuries of production. The integration of multiple disciplines required to achieve these ancient accomplishments suggest educational approaches that differed significantly from modern specialized training. Ancient masters appear to have possessed broad knowledge that combined what we now consider separate fields of study, allowing them to solve complex problems through holistic understanding rather than narrow specialization. The experimental approaches evident in some of these artifacts suggest that ancient peoples engaged in systematic investigation and testing of new techniques and materials. This proto-scientific methodology challenges assumptions about when formal scientific methods first emerged in human societies. The standardization of measurements and proportions across widely separated sites suggests the existence of common systems of weights, measures, and design principles that were maintained across vast distances and extended time periods. This level of coordination implies communication and administrative systems that were more sophisticated than typically attributed to ancient civilizations. The environmental adaptations evident in these ancient technologies demonstrate deep understanding of local conditions and resource availability. Ancient builders appear to have developed site-specific solutions that maximize the potential of available materials while minimizing environmental impact through sustainable practices. The aesthetic achievements represented by these objects suggest that ancient peoples valued beauty and artistic expression alongside functional performance. The integration of form and function in these artifacts demonstrates design philosophies that balance practical requirements with aesthetic considerations in ways that continue to inspire modern designers and engineers. The symbolic and mathematical relationships embedded in these artifacts suggest that ancient peoples possessed sophisticated understanding of abstract concepts and their physical manifestations. Complex geometric relationships and numerical patterns indicate mathematical knowledge that was both theoretical and practically applied in real-world construction projects. The longevity and durability of these ancient achievements stand in stark contrast to many modern constructions that require constant maintenance and eventual replacement. Ancient builders appear to have designed their works for permanence, using techniques and materials that have withstood millennia of exposure to natural forces while maintaining their structural integrity and functional performance. The mystery surrounding these ancient artifacts continues to deepen as new discoveries emerge and analytical techniques reveal ever greater levels of sophistication. Each breakthrough in our understanding seems to raise new questions about the true extent of ancient human achievement and the completeness of our historical knowledge. The pattern that emerges suggests that we may need to fundamentally reconsider our assumptions about the capabilities and achievements of past civilizations. The technological implications of these discoveries extend far beyond simple historical curiosity. Modern engineers studying ancient construction techniques have uncovered principles that inform contemporary approaches to sustainable building and resource management. The methods used by ancient builders to achieve structural stability without modern materials or equipment have inspired new approaches to earthquake-resistant construction and environmentally conscious design. The precision achieved in ancient manufacturing processes challenges our understanding of what's possible without modern tools and measurement systems. Tolerances that rival contemporary machine shop standards were achieved using techniques that remain largely mysterious. This level of accuracy suggests not only sophisticated craftsmanship, but also quality control systems that ensured consistent results across multiple production cycles. Archaeological investigations have revealed that many of these sites contain layers of construction spanning centuries or millennia, indicating continuous occupation and technological development over extended periods. The evolution of techniques visible in these stratified remains suggests that ancient peoples engaged in systematic improvement of their methods through experimentation and innovation. The chemical composition of ancient materials often reveals knowledge of processes that shouldn't have been available to their creators. Trace elements and molecular structures found in ancient ceramics, metals and glass indicate understanding of chemical reactions and material properties that predates the formal development of chemistry by centuries. These achievements suggest that practical knowledge of material science existed long before theoretical frameworks were developed to explain the underlying principles. The scale of some ancient projects required coordination of resources and labour forces that implies sophisticated logistical systems, moving massive quantities of materials across difficult terrain, organising thousands of workers, and maintaining consistent quality standards throughout extended construction periods, all required management capabilities that rival modern industrial operations. The integration of astronomical observations into architectural design demonstrates understanding of celestial mechanics that goes beyond simple calendar keeping. Ancient builders incorporated precise alignments with stellar phenomena that required detailed knowledge of planetary movements and the ability to predict their positions across extended time periods. This level of astronomical sophistication suggests dedicated observation programs maintained over generations. The acoustic properties engineered into ancient structures reveal understanding of sound behavior that enabled practical applications in communication and ceremonial contexts. Carefully calculated resonance chambers, sound-focusing devices, and acoustic amplification systems demonstrate mastery of wave physics that was applied to solve real-world problems in architectural settings. The hydraulic engineering systems developed by ancient civilizations achieved water management capabilities that sustained large populations in challenging environments. Complex networks of channels, reservoirs, and distribution systems maintained reliable water supplies while preventing flood damage and erosion. These achievements required understanding of fluid dynamics and hydrological principles that informed sophisticated environmental management strategies. These 10 extraordinary artifacts represent more than just ancient curiosities. They're windows into capabilities that challenge everything we thought we knew about our ancestors. From mechanical computers that rival Renaissance clockwork to precision stonework that defies explanation, Each discovery forces us to reconsider the true extent of ancient human achievement. Perhaps the most profound realization is that we may have barely scratched the surface of what remains hidden beneath our feet, waiting to rewrite history once again.